from what I know, it seems to be used in a very positive and productive way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone would be using technology just to use it. I think it's very well thought out. And I think it's almost like the reverse, where we have a goal, and then the question is there technology that would advance this goal?
Technology is certainly, in a school like Dalton, where there are teachers ranging from some people are in their second or third year teaching to teachers who've been teaching for like 30 plus years.
Right.
I think it's really about looking at the future of where our children are going. So it's not so much about the teachers, but it's about what world are we preparing our kids to be living and working and teaching and building and leading in.
School is starting to wrap its head around, the kind of STEAM initiatives, like, science, technology, education, arts, math, which I actually think is, we were just talking about at lunch today, it's kind of exclusive. It doesn't include the humanities, and I think that part of what we're trying to figure out what that means for Dalton.
It really has brought some kids closer together in terms of collaboration. For example, these 3 girls decided they were going to make a book together using the iPad, but they're also recording each other and having audio recording. I don't know how they figured out how to do this, so that the book is like a interactive kind of book. So there are pictures and there's text, but then they also have created these buttons, so you click on the button and you can hear them speaking, or they're asking, can you take a picture of us? And they're doing all these wacky poses. And I was like, what am I taking? I'm like, what am I a part of here that I don't know about? But maybe I need to read the book before you publish it. But it's, bringing, them together, working together on one project.
You can use technology in global learning. I have a blog that I created called Kid View World Books, and it involves my class, a class in India, and a class in China. Each class has picked a book that's representative of their culture. So, for instance, today we read Chicken Sunday by Patricia Polacco. The children answered questions about it. They wrote a little blurb, which after it's typed, they're going to pull it out of Dropbox and post it on the blog. And then these other 2 classes will be reading their comments and responding.
Because a lot of the apps and the programs that you see are really all like multiple choice. There's some of them are some fun games, like drilling your facts, but like every time they float by quickly, and every time you get one, another bad guy dies or something, right? But the boys love that. But that's still like just drill, which is nothing wrong with that. But so I came up with and so they all had this on their iPads.
What is the objective?
Wonderful thing about this is that it's connected to my computer, which is connected to the smart board. So whatever I do on this is projected onto the smart board without cords and wires. That's what drives me nuts. So that was the first thing, was what do you think is going on here? And they, of course, said they saw a maze, start to finish, numbers, and then they were starting to think about, come on, well, no, it's not going to work. Fact families, so they saw they said, oh, so it's about fact families.
There are apps that develop critical thinking skills or logical thinking skills. For instance, there's one that the kids have gone crazy over. It's called Codable. And that was introduced by Ellen Nichols because we're starting to teach the kids coding. She and the person that she works with, his name is Tom Patton, have found an app that they really, really love. But as an intro to it, they are having the kids use Codable. The kids are using this app, which really involves a lot of logical thinking. There are these little creatures from another, there's a little planet, a story that goes with it where these creatures from another planet come, blah, blah, blah. They have to get through a maze. And so the kids are using little arrows and other symbols to direct these little creatures through a maze. But it's all logical thinking.
Have smart boards in all of the K-5 classrooms, which means that you can connect any kind of computer or device, and students can come up and interact with that device through the board.
Now, smart boards, sometimes we call them dumb boards. Because they have a mind of their own.
The kids often joke that the smart board should really be called the dumb board because it doesn't always work.
Wonderful program called the Graph Club, which really is only available on laptops. So we're not a one-to-one laptop, so now I had to get the cart, and when I went to set all of this up, I ran into trouble in terms of I have some laptops that weren't connecting to an airport, and some troubleshooting with actually getting the program to open. So now, like, the time frame that basically the prep time, which seemed like plenty of time, really wasn't enough.
I remember even when it sounds like I'm so old, but when we first started using a lot of calculators in the classroom, there was this whole push to show kids that calculators can sometimes be wrong if you input the wrong number or if you do push the wrong button. And so that same kind of message is that although we do rely a lot on technology, and there's a lot of great things about technology, there are some things that technology can't replace.
We're not using anything on the fly. It's not like, oh, well, let's try this app today. Everything is really well thought out. I mean, even in terms of the apps that are on the iPads, we don't want to have junk. We really want to have things that enhance learning or creativity or critical thinking skills.